What is up, everybody? I'm Novo coming at you with another one. Thought we would follow up on Tesla after this move. Came down and we're trying to find support somewhere. So let's zoom in and have a look at what's going on. If you're interested, this is probably the most popular momentum histogram indicator on the market. If you go into indicators to have a look at it, and seems to be fairly accurate at confirming whenever there is a move to the upside and then where the upside starts to drop off. And same thing when there's a move to the downside and where it's close to a bottom. Might be a little bit of noise like so, but all in all, it does seem to follow the direction of choice, and mating it up with the histogram of the APO and MACD. If you get a double confirmation on the upside, that's pretty bullish for entries. And this calling a top and then getting into bearishness kind of double confirms that probably going to head back down. Also playing with this one, it's a this is a private indicator that is not well, it's not in trading view. At least it's not advertised. I'm still playing with it, so I'm not going to endorse it if I don't like it. But essentially, it plots bullish and bearish candles along an RSI plot, and looks for divergences, right? So um, lower highs and then a divergence on price. So here was lower highs and this was higher highs, and then expecting some sort of buying opportunity or a pullback while on an uptrend, actually. Um, Anyways, let's dive into this bad boy here. So we were looking at potentially 908, and we were just going to zigzag our way down to what looks like, previous support and past previous resistance as well. So this price level seems to be an important reversal point, and 908 ends up being 61.8 of this move here. So the Fibonacci traders are probably looking at that. What threw us off was, while the APO and MACD were above the zero cross, showing that this is bullish consolidation. If I turn it off, in fact, let's just go full screen. We have a gap up and then a sell off. If we go to, sorry, I got to drop down to at least 4 hours. And if we go to extended trading hours, we can see that, we finished off green with a wick, suggesting this is a possible reversal and a drop down to liquidity and stop loss hunt. And then after hours, this thing popped up to almost 1100 and then sold off. So now we're seeing today's open candle as an attempt to continue up. So we have the potential for a mini trend to the upside. And I can't remember who it was, Goldman Sachs, one of the big banks, was calling like 1300. So, they're not going to let you go to 1300. They'll probably start dumping at 1200 or so, and then a continuation to the downside. That is one trend. And we can see, breaking to an all-time high. So we got 1147. If we go to 1200 instead of 13, that would be a consolidation bull and then a potential handle so that we can continue. So we got to drag them out and make the investors bored out of their minds so that they can sell, and then the banks will take it and rip it up. In the meantime, our original plan was for down here somewhere. Actually, it was this triangle and then a breakdown, and we hit that. But now we've got this trend line, or this little alleyway happening here. And I mean, this looks like a bear flag to me. So we've got a false uptrend following a sharp downtrend. And a bear flag usually calculates out as you take the this run here, let it consolidate, and then we would add this flag. Technically, it would be down here. But I think if we go to 1200 or so, it may be a double bottom. If this thing gives up the ghost a lot earlier, which is why I like line up, which is why I like hitting the highest point to be conservative. That kind of points down to the 908 zone as well, or in this area. So while our forecast is for down here, the time in which it's taking may be later. So I wonder what a Gann fan would do here. So we were looking at like so, and that kind of lines up there. We came into heavy resistance because the lines are a lot closer together. This is wider, and I can see us hitting, let's say, April 22nd, and then potential reversal back down, and then test these lowers. And then we'll get into this area where the chatter was, right? And just below it will likely be where stop losses are set. So people will be trying to buy at support, and then stop losses will be somewhere around here. So I think price is still going to try and get down there. Turning off extended hours. This is the 1226, so similar to the APO and MACD. And I can't seem to bring it back. There we go. So essentially what this means is, the 1226 signals across on the MACD, suggesting potential bullishness. Shortly after that, we have a trend to the upside. And then the cross would be a maximizing of the momentum, short-term versus long-term trend, essentially like an exponential average crossover, and then leading into a sell-off. And every time there is a zero cross, that is the crossover of the actual EMA 1226, right? So this is a little bit off, but essentially that's what it's supposed to translate as. And this momentum indicator here, I haven't quite figured out entirely how it works, but it seems that these central dots, I changed it because they were hatch marks. These dots here, they seem to signify like a squeeze that's about to happen. So that must be squeeze momentum indicator. And then there is a release, and this is low momentum, so the release is low. And if we go here, we have a lot of squeeze so that the release is sharper. Don't know what direction it's going to, but this was favoring the downside because the APO MACD was giving us red candles. So if we got a squeeze, we got a release into red, which meant further crash to the downside. Make note. So this is what I'm waiting to see what happens is this consolidation or this bear flag may eventually end and pop down. And if the banks are doing what I think they're doing is, we got a gap up, we've got a potential gap fill, and then we hit resistance again, and everybody thinks the breakout's going to come and then it's going to go the other way. At least that's what the way the chart looks like, right? Red candles favors the bearishness until it changes. So here we started getting green histogram. green histogram. The candles are turning green. Triple verification that this is bullishness and should run for a while to the upside until we start seeing danger signals of an exit. And this guy right here, we're over 10 minutes already. Sorry. I always feel like I need to put as much information as possible into a video. That seems to possibly signify a top effect too, right? So we've got divergence setting up here. So we've got lower highs, and here we have higher highs with this red triangle probably signifying a top. And lo and behold, we see a drop. So that's the trend dropping down below the 50. And then we see resistance, resistance, resistance. This, I had to change the candles because this is black background. Probably works better in a white background. So the hollow candles are bullish and the solid candles are bearish. So we had a bullish close above the 50, but that was because of the gap up. So I'm not trusting that. Now we're seeing a bearish candle, and we've got red, and we have that squeeze momentum happening again on the 4 hour. 1 hour, it's too noisy. I don't want to watch that. But watching the 4 hour, looking for downtrend, it looks like there's signs of a potential continuation to the bottom. And I don't know. I think you guys should watch this 908 region and see if this gets tested for support. It'd likely be below this. What is this? The 30 mark. And then once we see a bullish candle close above the 30 and start heading for the 50, we may see potential for entry. So it might be down here. And then, of course, nothing travels in a straight line. So we'll probably see a push up, a rest, and then a push up, a rest, and then all-time high, and then a long consolidation. Maybe right up until, I don't know, September or something like that for the Santa Claus rally. Okay, so that's where I've left off. Take all the information, digest it. Feel free to discuss in the comments. I will delete all this stuff for the thumbnail, like so. Let's go 4 hour, make it look pretty. And there is the argument. Delete. And we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. I think we're going to challenge this trend line down here. And if we break that, and if we break 976, it's basically a lower low and we are headed down, right? So technically we're at a lower high and we're checking to see if this is a confirmed lower high. And now we're going to see where the lower low is, or if it ends up being a higher low and a change in trend. All right. Trade safe.